Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Creepybytes Creepy-Ass True Stories. I'm your host, and these are the most terrifying true stories sent in by you guys. So let's get right into it. We went to dinner, bowling, the movies, the usual stuff. When we got back to my car, I realized I didn't have my phone. I asked my friend if they saw it anywhere. My first apartment was in a rough neighborhood, but I was desperate and had recently moved to the city. The rent was cheap, and the apartment was big, but the neighbors were insane. I could deal with loud music, shouting, whatever. But every night I would hear chains dragging, metal moans, and blood-curdling screams. One night I was awoken in my bed by a scratching sound. Then I heard my door open. I froze, unsure of what to do. Then I heard my door slam shut, and footsteps walking away. I didn't move a muscle. Then the footsteps returned and I heard my bed spring creak. I waited, and a moment later, "I will kill you." Then I heard the door open again. I stayed perfectly still. I heard her walk away again. Then the door opened and closed quietly. In the morning after, of course, not sleeping at all, I got up and looked over the balcony. I saw a woman rummaging through a pile of garbage. The woman had obviously dropped something valuable. I yelled, "Hey, lady, come look." She screamed and ran back to her apartment. From then on, I kept my doors locked. One day the police showed up and told us that she had dropped her schizophrenia medication and became violently ill. She had taken her medications since and had been wandering around her apartment complex. She was taken to a mental institution, and everything was fine after that. They said no, so we started to look around the car. Then my friend took my phone number off their phone and called it. I was on the other end and didn't answer. What the hell? That's impossible. I was holding it just a minute ago. I continued to not answer the phone. Finally, I looked back at my friend and asked them to say something. They did. A low, raspy giggle answered. I was scared, so I gave up and went home. When I got into my room, I put my things down and turned off the lights. Sitting on my nightstand was my phone, which I had never taken my eyes off. I don't know how it got there. I was never going to figure this one out, but it sure as hell freaked me out. Story 5. The Phantom Phone. I was out with my best friend for the evening. One day I was waiting for the bus, like always, and it pulled up. It wasn't our normal driver, but I didn't think much of it. I got on the bus, but it was completely empty, and the driver kept smiling at me. That's when I knew something was very wrong. He said, "Hey, we're gonna go to the store now." And I said, "No, I want to go home." He kept insisting that I get off at the store, but I refused. Eventually he got frustrated and drove off without me. I walked home, and the next day I told my mom about the driver. She said I must have gotten on the wrong bus, but I insisted I didn't. Then my actual bus driver came to our house and apologized for not picking me up the day before. I knew he was talking about the wrong bus. Something really scary was going on. Story 4. The Strange Bus Driver. When I was little, I was always the last one picked up by the school bus. Story 3. The Insane Neighbor. Stay tuned for more stories from Mr. Creepybytes. Creepy-ass true stories.